Queen Camilla broke down after Prince William took a drastic step against her son. And the move was not loud, emotional, or public. That is what made it colder. It came through a private royal paper, written like policy, but carrying the weight of a family warning. This was not about Camilla losing her crown. It was about what William would never allow that crown to give her children. Inside the palace, rules can hurt more than arguments. A single line can decide who belongs, who stays outside, and who never receives the protection that comes with royal power. And when that line touched Camilla's son, the decision became personal. So, what did Prince William confirm about Queen Camilla's family, and why did it leave her facing the harshest limit of her royal life? The briefing began after a normal public day. Camilla returned to Clarence's house with the careful composure expected of a queen. Staff moved quietly. Engagement papers waited. The building carried the old rhythm of duty: arrivals, red boxes, schedules, and private rooms where family decisions could become royal policy. The document from William's household looked administrative. That made it more serious. It was not written as a personal attack. It was presented as a conflict of interest rule for the next reign. Private relatives of the sovereign or consort would receive no automatic title, paid appointment, residence, allowance, contract, or ceremonial authority. Tom's name appeared because his position was already unusual. His mother was Queen Camilla. His stepfather was King Charles III. He attended family occasions. He spoke warmly about the king. His children knew Charles as a grandfather. Yet Tom remained outside the working royal family, outside the line of succession, and outside the machinery that turned blood and marriage into public duty. William wanted the separation fixed before anyone could test it. The most severe part was not the restriction itself. Tom had never asked for a title or a palace salary. The severity came from its permanence. The paper said the rule would continue through William's reign. Camilla could accept that as a constitutional principle. She struggled to accept what it meant personally. Charles had brought her into the center of royal life. Their marriage in 2005 had slowly transformed her place. She became Duchess of Cornwall, then Queen Consort, then simply Queen in public use. Each change suggested that the past could be survived. The paper told her survival had limits. The crown had accepted her. William would not allow that acceptance to become an inheritance for her children. Camilla's hand remained on the page. She understood the argument before anyone explained it. Royal institutions had been damaged by blurred lines before. Money, access, friendships, and family advantage could become scandals even when no law was broken. William was removing the doubt, but the doubt was attached to her son. The tears came quietly. Not because Tom had lost something he possessed, but because William had decided what he could never become. And the decision had not started with Tom. It had started when William inherited an estate, an office, and the power to separate his father's arrangements from his own. September 8, 2022, changed every position around the family. Queen Elizabeth II died at Balmoral. Charles became king. William became Duke of Cornwall. That title gave him control over the duchy, a vast private estate created to support the heir to the throne. Charles had directed it for decades. Its properties, contracts, staff, income, and public responsibilities had grown around his long preparation for kingship. William inherited all of it in a day. The transition was legal, immediate, and deeply personal. He was not only taking his father's old title, he was taking authority over a structure that had carried Charles through the years when Camilla moved from private companion to royal wife. One name inside the duchy accounts drew particular attention: Annabel Elliot, Camilla's sister. Annabel had provided interior design services connected to duchy properties during Charles's time as Duke. The annual records listed payments for professional work, furnishings, and related services before William's full control began. Later accounts showed no continuing amount due to her. The document did not describe a confrontation. It did not accuse Annabel of wrongdoing. It showed a change in administration. Charles's arrangement ended. William's duchy moved forward without it. That became the real-world foundation beneath the decision concerning Tom. William had already shown that family connections from his father's household would not automatically continue under his authority. A service could have been legitimate, properly invoiced, and accepted for years, yet still end when control passed to the next generation. Tom's position carried greater sensitivity because he was not Camilla's sister. He was her son. He was also the king's stepson. Any paid role would be noticed. Any title would be challenged. Any residence, allowance, or advisory position would raise the same question. Had closeness to the Queen become a route into the institution? Tom had not asked for those things. William's concern was not the present. It was the future. Charles was older. William was preparing for a reign in which every early decision would be judged against his promise of a smaller, more disciplined monarchy. Leaving Tom's position undefined could allow private affection to create public expectation. So William used the lesson of the duchy. He did not wait for a problem. He removed the opening. For Camilla, that made the action feel even harder. Tom was being restricted not because he had crossed a line, but because William believed the line had to exist before his father was gone. And the reason Tom stood so close to that line reached back to the marriage that changed every life around it. Tom Parker Bowles was born in 1974. His sister, Laura Lopes, followed 4 years later. They were children of Camilla and Andrew Parker Bowles, raised outside the formal royal system. Tom did not grow up expecting a dukedom. Laura was not trained for palace duty. Their names belonged to an established family, but not to the succession. Then Charles and Camilla's relationship became one of the most painful public conflicts in modern royal life. The children did not create it. They still lived beneath it. Newspaper coverage followed Camilla for years. Public anger surrounding Charles and Diana reached beyond the adults at the center. Tom and Laura carried a surname linked to the affair, the separation, and the collapse of a marriage watched across the world. Camilla learned to protect them through distance. Tom built a career around food. He wrote restaurant criticism, cookbooks, and essays. He became known for kitchens, ingredients, British dishes, and culinary history rather than palace work. That separation mattered to him. He knew his mother's marriage could make every achievement look borrowed. He also knew the public would react strongly if he appeared to profit from her position. When people asked whether he might become a prince, Tom answered with humor. The gates of Buckingham Palace, he suggested, would be stormed. The joke worked because the idea sounded absurd even to him. His mother's crown did not make him royal. His stepfather's throne did not place him in the line of succession. His family connection remained personal. Yet Camilla's rise changed the visibility around him. When she married Charles in April 2005, Tom became the adult stepson of the future king. When Charles succeeded in 2022, Tom became the Queen's son. When Camilla was crowned at Westminster Abbey in 2023, cameras again turned toward the family she had before Charles. Tom attended important occasions because he was her son. That was enough to create questions. Could he advise privately? Could he receive a ceremonial role? Could he be offered work connected to royal estates? Could Charles leave him access that William might later be expected to continue? Tom had publicly resisted those possibilities. William still wanted them closed. This was where Camilla felt the injustice. Her son had spent years staying away from official power. Now his restraint was being answered with a rule carrying his name. But William saw another history. He saw children who had also been caught in the same marriage. And one of those children had lost his mother. Prince William was 15 when Diana died. Long before the crash in Paris, he had watched his parents' marriage collapse in public. He had seen the headlines, heard the arguments surrounding the palace, and learned that private pain could become national entertainment. Camilla's name belonged to that memory. William later treated her with visible respect. He appeared beside her at ceremonies. He accepted her place next to Charles. His children entered a blended family in which old divisions were managed through duty and restraint. But respect did not erase Diana, Princess of Wales. For William, Camilla remained connected to the years when his mother felt isolated inside the institution he would one day lead. Tom was not responsible for that suffering, and William knew it. The imagined directive was built around that difference. Tom could work, publish, attend private meals, and support his mother. He simply could not receive anything from the crown because of her. William believed the line protected fairness. It also protected Diana's memory. His public life had already carried lessons she gave him. Homewards, his campaign on homelessness grew from childhood visits Diana made with him to shelters. His work on mental health reflected the danger of silence inside powerful families. His anger after the Lord Dyson report showed how deeply he believed his mother had been manipulated. Those experiences shaped the future king. Any suggestion that Camilla's relatives might gain authority under William would reopen the most painful comparison in the family. Diana's sons inherited grief. Camilla's son could not appear to inherit influence. That sentence was never placed inside the paper, but it stood beneath every line. Camilla understood it, which made the restriction harder to challenge. She could defend Tom's independence. She could point to his separate career. She could remind William that her children had also suffered because of adult choices. She could not remove his mother from the decision. The dead princess remained present whenever Camilla's family moved close to royal authority. William's next step made clear that he was not acting through anger alone. He turned the restriction into a broad policy, wide enough to include every future consort and strong enough to survive the accusation that he was seeking revenge. William's advisors removed Tom's name from the opening language. The rule would apply to everyone. No relative of a sovereign or consort would receive automatic office. No family friend would enter a royal household without a clear professional process. No contract would be awarded through personal loyalty. No residence would be granted simply to preserve closeness. A personal order against Tom would look vindictive. A general conflict of interest rule could be defended as reform. William was preparing a smaller monarchy. Prince Harry had left royal duties. Prince Andrew no longer represented the crown. Older relatives carried limited workloads. William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, faced the possibility of leading an institution with fewer working members and greater public scrutiny. Every appointment would matter. Tom's profession created an easy overlap. His work involved food, hospitality, publishing, and cultural history. Royal estates held historic kitchens. Palaces hosted state dinners. Charities used food programs. A harmless invitation could become advice, advice could become a contract, and a contract could become a headline about the Queen's son receiving money. William wanted no path from family access to royal employment. The imagined paper closed 4 doors: royal rank, palace employment, duchy contracts, ceremonial authority. Tom would remain Mr. Parker Bowles. He would receive no allowance from William's household. The duchy would not employ him through family connection. He would not represent the sovereign or gain a permanent place at state occasions. Private life remained separate. Christmas invitations remained possible. Family meals remained possible. A place inside the institution did not. William believed the decision also protected Tom. Without an official role, no one could accuse him of exploiting Camilla's crown. His career would remain his own. His children would stay outside succession politics. Camilla heard the other meaning. When Charles was gone, William's court would not carry Tom forward. Her son could remain loved, but love would have no institutional value. The family she had built before Charles would stop at the edge of the next reign. Then King Charles III read the document, and the boundary became a conflict between the monarch who loved Tom privately and the heir determined to control what came after him. Charles understood William's argument before the meeting began. He had spent a lifetime watching private relationships become constitutional pressure. He knew why the future king wanted clean lines around money, access, and appointments. He also knew Tom as family. Tom had described Charles as a caring step-grandfather. Camilla's grandchildren knew him through ordinary affection, as well as royal ceremony. Their bond had grown over years that were rarely visible to the public. In the dramatized meeting, Charles did not demand a title for Tom. He did not request a salary, residence, or formal position. He asked William not to humiliate him. William agreed. There would be no palace announcement, no newspaper briefing, and no public statement declaring that the Queen's son had been excluded. The policy would remain inside future household planning. Charles then questioned its permanence. A cultural project might one day suit Tom's knowledge. A historic estate might need work, connected to British food. Why should one relationship close every opportunity before merit could be judged? William's answer was calm. Tom's ability was not the problem. His relationship to Queen Camilla was. Any role would be interpreted through that connection, whatever his qualifications. Public suspicion would arrive before the work could be explained. Charles recognized the danger. He also recognized what the paper exposed. His marriage to Camilla had required years of negotiation between personal happiness and royal acceptance. Queen Elizabeth II supported Camilla's future title in her February 2022 Accession Day message. The coronation of 2023 placed Camilla beside Charles before the country and the Commonwealth. Those events settled her rank. They did not settle her children's future. Charles could invite Tom, treat him warmly, and include him in private life during his own reign. He could not promise how William would organize the next one. William was not removing authority from his father. He was defining the authority he would later inherit. That made the order almost impossible to reverse. The final wound came when William explained why it had to be signed while Charles was alive. After the king's death, any restriction would look like punishment. Before it, the family could see the boundary clearly and prepare for it. Charles could comfort Camilla. He could not offer her the one promise she wanted. Tom would never become part of William's monarchy. Camilla returned to the point William could not dismiss. Tom had never asked for the future being denied to him. He had not sought royal style. He had not requested a duchy home. He had not built his career around palace patronage. His joke about crowds storming Buckingham Palace was not hidden ambition. It was his way of rejecting the idea that his mother's title should become his own. Camilla believed Tom's restraint should have been enough. William believed restraint could not replace policy. People changed. Circumstances changed. A request made during illness, grief, or the final years of a reign could become difficult for the next monarch to refuse. William did not want his first months as king consumed by arguments over private promises made by Charles. So the position had to be settled early. The logic was institutional. The wound was maternal. Camilla remembered the years when Tom and Laura were questioned because of her relationship with Charles. She had tried to keep them outside the storm, yet their names were repeatedly pulled into it. Now the storm had become a written rule. The crown gave her no protection. It increased the pressure. Because Camilla was queen, every appearance by Tom could be interpreted as access. Every favor could look like influence. Every private connection carried public risk. William treated closeness itself as the danger. That was when Camilla's composure broke. The paper did not accuse Tom of dishonesty. It said the monarchy could not afford the appearance that he might benefit from her position. Camilla lowered her eyes. For years, she had accepted being measured against Diana. She knew William's loyalty to his mother would never disappear. She also accepted that parts of the public would never forgive the history surrounding Charles's first marriage. She had hoped her children might eventually be released from that judgment. William's order showed the judgment had become permanent structure. He saw the tears and changed one sentence. Tom would remain welcome at private family occasions at the invitation of the sovereign. The addition protected belonging. It did not create power. Camilla understood the difference immediately. Her son could enter the room. He could never hold the key. The action became final with William's signature. Advisors placed the principle inside long-term household planning and connected it to appointments, duchy work, allowances, residences, and ceremonial duties. It was not written as punishment. It was written as protection for the next reign. No public announcement followed. Tom continued his career. Camilla continued beside Charles. But the four doors were now closed. No title, no official office, no royal income, no formal authority. William believed the policy protected the crown from favoritism, protected Tom from accusations of privilege, and protected Prince George from inheriting another family conflict when his own public role grew larger. One imagined headline remained in William's mind: Diana's son gives power to Camilla's son. No explanation about merit could survive it. Camilla could see the same danger. That was why she could not fully call William wrong. Her tears did not come because the rule lacked reason. They came because reason defeated the hope that time had finally joined the two families. Charles could love Tom. William could respect him. Camilla could wear the crown. Yet royal authority would not pass through those relationships. Private family could blend. The monarchy could not. The signature made William's position irreversible. He accepted Camilla as his father's queen, but he would not allow her children to become another branch of royal power. Now, Camilla had to tell Tom that the future had been decided without him. Tom received the news more calmly than Camilla expected. He had never imagined himself opening Parliament, living in a palace apartment, or walking behind William during a state ceremony. His work and identity existed elsewhere. Still, the order carried weight. A future he had never requested had been formally removed because others feared he might one day request it. Tom asked whether private invitations would stop. Camilla said no. He asked whether Charles had supported the decision. She explained that the king had protected his place in the family, but accepted William's control over the future household. Then Tom asked the question beneath the entire document. Was this about public trust, or was it about Princess Diana? The answer was both. William had real institutional reasons. The monarchy was smaller, its finances more exposed, and its private relationships examined more closely. Tom's closeness to the Queen made any official benefit dangerous. Diana's memory sharpened every danger. Tom understood. His adult life had unfolded beneath a conflict centered on his mother and William's mother. No private kindness could remove the public meaning attached to their names. In the dramatized exchange, Tom asked Camilla not to fight the decision publicly. A battle would turn him into the crisis William was trying to prevent. That request brought the tears back. Her son was protecting the institution that had placed him outside it. Tom returned to humor. He had enough trouble judging restaurants, he said, without judging kingdoms. The line eased the room. It did not change the rule. Prince William's drastic action did not exile Tom Parker Bowles. It removed the possibility that Tom could ever turn family closeness into royal power under William's reign. He would receive no princely title, no palace appointment, no duchy contract, no allowance, and no ceremonial position because his mother was queen. The decision was severe because it was preventive. Tom lost no current office. He lost every future path into one. Camilla broke in tears because the order changed an emotional division into permanent royal structure. She had spent decades moving toward acceptance. She married Charles, endured public hostility, received Queen Elizabeth's support, and was crowned beside the king. Her son did not cross that distance with her. The closer Camilla moved toward the crown, the more carefully William separated Tom from it. William acted through duty, but Diana's memory remained beneath the decision. The future king could not allow an arrangement that appeared to reward Camilla's son, while the country remembered what Diana's sons had endured. Tom was not blamed for the broken marriage. He was restricted because the comparison would be unavoidable. Charles could keep him close during his own life. William would keep the institution separate during his reign. Camilla understood the constitutional line. As a mother, she felt its cruelty. The monarchy had accepted Camilla personally. It had never accepted her family institutionally. William made that distinction final. Tom could remain the Queen's son. He could never become the future king's royal official. That was the meaning of the paper carried into Clarence House. That was why Charles could not overturn it. That was why Tom accepted it. And that was why Camilla cried. She had reached the center of the monarchy, yet she could not carry her son across the one boundary William refused to move. William had decided where family ended. The next reign would begin from that line. Behind the crown, the decision remained simple. Camilla had gained royal acceptance, but Tom was denied royal inheritance. Charles could preserve their private family, while William protected the public crown. No ceremony could combine those two worlds. The paper did not accuse Tom, remove his dignity, or erase his bond with his mother. It only declared that affection would end where authority began, and that William would never allow the boundary to disappear.